Doug had connected with me last week or 2 weeks ago about the possibility of moving to more paperless platform for board packets. And over the last couple of years, there's been a vendor that has contacted the district and has been pretty prevalent. And I sent that company's name out to you just to look at that website. I connected with Canon shortly thereafter because he needs to be in the loop on that part completely from the back room work that needs to be done. And then, did you just want to briefly interject here and say what step you thought we should take, or what step you took today?
Oh, sure. All I did actually just sent an email out to my colleagues in the area because I hadn't heard of obviously all of these either, and just kind of curious what are they using. I have 7 responses back, and actually it was split. Let's see, one had used the Board Docs one that Chris had mentioned. The others, there was 3 that said none, and then there was a split between Google Docs and some using some form of Moodle, the platform we're using for their students. So it's kind of all over the place. I just kind of asked them, what's the, is it ease of use, those kinds of questions. Is it, are you able to access what you need on, specific to the PCs, to the iPads, to whatever, those kind of things. Again, it was all over the board, depending on what solution they were looking at.
You think that should go down to the tech committee?
I'm fine with that. I mean, like I said, I'm just looking at it for the first time as you guys are too, so.
And after Doug had sent that email, I took a look online myself.
I did look a little bit, like I said, I'm not computer savvy, so I was like.
Right, and I think the one Chris had mentioned seems to be pretty focused in the school realm. And then there were a couple other ones I found that kind of looked at corporate and school options, and the things I saw were pretty interesting. I think obviously making our lives a little easier with less paper, but I think even bigger than that is streamlining what the district staff has to do and getting the stuff prepared, copies, delivering it, by couriers to the houses and things like that, avoiding a lot of those things. And also, when we get it, it's instant. Any updates are automatic, so it's not none of the last minute changes that we get at the meeting itself. In addition to that, they had things in there, a few of them with being able to record audio of the meetings like we've discussed that then gets added directly to the meeting itself and then can be accessed within the software. So I guess, long story short, the different programs had a lot of different features I think that would possibly be benefit to the district. And these meetings, kind of what I saw with the next step, maybe on some of them, if some look better than the others, were opting to do the demo or being able to take it for a spin and kind of see what it offered. The different features and costs. They're pretty, none of them really broadcasted or how much it costs will obviously be a big consideration.
I mean, the way I look at it is what's the point you want to accomplish? And the point is simplifying and getting rid of paperwork, make it easier to send something off to somebody. I can't see where could have tablets linked directly to the district website. Instead of right now, we get email on something. But the tablet for the district could have the links to all of our paperwork. The only issue comes into if it's an automatic update. We don't know that it actually updated. Then you create where you read the document, but now the document changed by the time you get to the meeting you're going to, and you're going, oh, what I read. So I mean, to me, a simple tablet with like a Google Docs or something where all you do is bring it up in PDF format, when you're done with it, send it away and have the reference to the same email still there. It would be simple, and they're recording. I mean, anyone can record it.
Right. I think the nice part about these different packages, though, is it does everything we talked about in a nice little formula, where when changes are made, it will push notifications to whatever device you have that, hey, this particular document has been updated. So I think a lot of the things that can get a little sketchy with when things are updated, when they were last updated in Google Docs, to where maybe you and I would be quick on the uptake to see that happened. Maybe someone not so familiar with those things, it would be a little more confusing. Whereas if you have a software package that kind of does all that, it has that in mind, it may be a little more foolproof, a little more easy to make sure that everybody's notified that everything's happening. I guess at this point, I like a Google Docs approach because it's obviously free, so that's great. But at the same time, maybe if we explore some of these options,
Explore 'em, yeah.
right, see what they cost, see what they do.
So maybe bring that into a tech committee as one thing, and review a couple of them.
Sure.
See in action.
Reach out and get prices or demo accounts
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
if you want.
Because, I mean, other than that, it's really just a tablet of some sort with a link, whether it's Google Docs or somebody else's. The issue is gonna be in the long run, how do we store that? Because now we're the one that has to store everything, and if it's an outside vendor, if we have to store their software for the future, that'll be a problem. Whereas opposed to just storing a PDF or something, you know?
Yeah, a lot of the options are hosted. A few will give you the option of either doing it hosted on their servers or you can install it locally. So there's some options there, how you want to do it.
Yeah, because then the issue is you gotta pay forever if it's hosted. Sure, we have to store the documents, right?
Right.
So legally, we have to do that for at least 7 years, and if we stop using them, now we got 6 more years of paying. Just to
Okay.
host it, you know? So, I mean, we might want to take baby steps on that one and just start with something. But let's look at it anyways. We've already reviewed a couple.
Yeah, okay.
So why don't you give Ken a couple ideas, and
Sure, yeah, we can get together with
let's
you.
just have a couple of
Yeah.
review tech and
And
go
bring
from
it back
there.
to time.
Sounds good.
Okay.
It'll save a tree or two during the year.
I was just gonna say, I did talk to another district that used it, and I think it was the board docs, and they did find that some of their people were still printing things out just for note taking. It's kind of awkward for you to put your notes and have it mesh within the document and make it yours. So I guess if we're gonna look at ones, I mean, as we're all writing things here, obviously that's an important piece that we're able to put our comments in there as well.
Annotate and do all those
Right.
different things, a lot of them have that built in. And I guess it'll probably be a individual taste to it, and some people are gonna want to print it out, some are fine, just drawing it with their finger on, their tablet. I know personally, since I've started, I've scanned everything that I've been given as the board packet, and I store it on mine, and I have it all accessible through the tablet. So I kind of already knew myself what a lot of this does, and it does come in handy to look at different things up, have accessible, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
The only thing with that, you gotta watch it, because you can't create a secondary public domain for a document, because it's really not a open record document you have on there. It might be your personal notes. Yeah, so then we have to make sure whatever the final revision is the only one that's on the accessibility.
And another, to speak to that, another benefit of some of these programs is it does give you a public-facing aspect of it, so that for these types of meetings, when we're discussing these things, and there are, should be handouts, so everybody can follow along with the audience, they do give you the option of checking off, okay, this is something publicly viewable, so that anybody attending the meetings ahead of time can look, okay, there's a meeting scheduled for 6 p.m., these are the documents and things that are going to be discussed, and then they would have the ability to pull the PDF up on their end and print it off if they want, which I think would be a really beneficial thing to be able to do.
All right, so then we move to tech committee.